Dear friends, most people do not begin spirituality because they fall in love with truth. They begin because something inside them feels heavy. Too many thoughts, too much stress, too much emotional exhaustion, a strange restlessness that does not disappear even when life appears normal on the outside. And so they search. Some try meditation apps and breathwork. Some listen to motivational talks and podcasts. Some throw themselves into productivity and side hustles. Some turn to religion. Others chase endless self-improvement, therapy, or biohacking. But almost nobody begins with one simple, honest question. What is actually happening inside me right now? Not philosophically, not spiritually, not intellectually, just honestly. Because before healing the mind, before controlling thoughts, before meditation itself, there is something far more important: learning how to observe ourselves clearly. This sounds simple, but it is one of the hardest things for modern human beings to do. We have been trained to react, not observe. The moment discomfort appears, the escape begins. Phone in hand, Netflix on, scrolling social media, checking emails, music, work, constant stimulation, anything to avoid sitting quietly with ourselves. Yet if you sit silently for even 5 minutes, you may notice something surprising. The mind is constantly active. One thought enters, then another, then another. A memory appears, a worry about tomorrow appears, an imaginary conversation begins, a past mistake returns, anxiety enters, comparison enters, fear enters. The mind keeps moving continuously. Most people are not truly aware of this movement. They think they are consciously living. But much of life is automatic reaction. Someone says one negative sentence and the whole mood changes. One stressful email arrives and the body becomes tense. One moment of rejection and insecurity floods in. One comparison online and suddenly life feels inadequate. These reactions happen so quickly that people assume this is simply their personality. But real spirituality begins at a very different place. Not with becoming special, not with becoming superior, not with escaping life. It begins with observation, quiet, honest observation, not changing yourself immediately, not forcing positivity, not pretending to be peaceful, just seeing clearly. And this is important. Observation is not self-hatred. Many people become harsh the moment they look within. I overthink too much. I am emotionally weak. I am broken. I am negative. No, the goal is not to attack yourself. The goal is simply to see. A mirror doesn't judge the face. It only reflects. Awareness works the same way. Take a moment now and prepare yourself for the next few minutes. You do not need to achieve anything here. You do not need to force peace. You do not need to stop your thoughts. For these next few minutes, your only task is to observe. Before we continue, one important thing. If closing your eyes makes you feel more anxious, overwhelmed, emotionally uncomfortable, or trapped inside your thoughts, keep your eyes gently open. You can softly look at the floor, a wall, or any quiet object nearby. Meditation is not about forcing discomfort. Awareness matters more than posture. Now sit comfortably. Do not try to sit like a perfect meditator.
Just sit naturally. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Allow your hands to rest naturally. Feel the weight of the body. Notice the contact between your body and the chair or the floor beneath you. Notice the temperature of the air. Hear the distant sounds around you. There is nothing to force, nothing to become, nothing to perform. And before we begin the 5 minutes of observation, first understand what you are about to do. Most people spend their entire lives inside the mind without ever truly observing it. Thoughts come, emotions come, stress comes, fear comes, and immediately the mind becomes involved. A single memory appears and suddenly the body reacts. An imaginary conversation begins and emotions become real. A future problem appears in thought and anxiety enters the nervous system as if the event is already happening. This happens automatically. Today, for a few minutes, we are learning something different. Instead of becoming every thought, you will simply watch. Imagine you are sitting beside a river. Usually every thought pulls you into the river. You get carried away by memories, fears, plans, reactions, and emotional storms. But now, you remain on the shore. The thoughts continue flowing, but you stay as the observer. You do not stop the river. You do not fight the river. You simply watch. This is the beginning of awareness. Now gently bring attention to your breathing. Do not control the breath. Do not force deep breathing. Just notice the body breathing naturally. Air entering, air leaving. That is enough. And now begin observing the mind. Thoughts may already be appearing. You may think, this is not working. I am distracted. I cannot focus. When will this end? Why is my mind so noisy? Good. Notice that. The moment you notice the thought instead of automatically believing it, awareness has already begun. You are learning to see the mind instead of becoming trapped inside it. Now continue watching quietly. A memory may appear. Observe it. A worry about tomorrow may appear. Observe it. An emotion may arise. Observe it. Do not immediately label it good or bad. Just notice. Anxiety is present. Sadness is present. Restlessness is present. Impatience is present. This is very important. Notice the difference between I am anxious and anxiety is being observed. That small difference creates space inside the mind, and inside that space, reaction slowly begins losing power. You may notice the mind trying to pull you away. Suddenly, you are planning tomorrow, replaying old conversations, imagining arguments, thinking about your phone, thinking about work, thinking about someone who hurt you. The moment you realize you became lost in thought, do not criticize yourself. Most people immediately become frustrated. I failed. I cannot meditate properly. No, the noticing itself is the meditation. Every time awareness returns, the mind becomes a little less unconscious. Now observe something deeper. Notice how thoughts affect the body. A fearful thought may tighten the chest. A stressful memory may harden the stomach. An imagined future may change the breathing. The body listens to the mind constantly. This is why unconscious thinking becomes exhausting. The nervous system reacts not only to reality, but also to repeated mental stories.
Observe your sleep. Do you sleep peacefully, or does the mind continue running at night? Do thoughts and imaginary conversations keep you awake for hours? Do you wake up mentally tired even after sleeping? A disturbed sleep often reflects a disturbed inner condition. Modern life has normalized exhaustion so deeply that people rarely question it anymore. Observe stress. Stress has become so common that people almost wear it like an identity. Everyone is rushing. Everyone feels pressured. What pressures dominate your mind every day? Work deadlines, financial fear, fear of falling behind, social comparison, the pressure to constantly succeed and prove yourself? Under stress, small problems become huge, patience disappears, thinking becomes reactive, the body stays tense, breathing stays shallow. Even moments of rest feel restless. What remains unconscious controls you. What becomes conscious slowly begins losing power. Observe your emotions. Most people do not observe emotions. They become consumed by them. Anger comes and awareness disappears. Fear comes and clarity disappears. Jealousy comes and intelligence disappears. Watch carefully. What triggers your anger? What creates sadness? What creates anxiety? How quickly does your mood depend on external events? One message can change your entire emotional state. Emotions rise. They fall. They change constantly. The problem is not emotion itself. The problem is unconscious emotion that silently controls behavior. Observe your relationships. Relationships reveal the true condition of the mind. When alone, we may imagine ourselves peaceful, but relationships expose hidden fears. Fear of rejection, need for validation, jealousy, attachment, insecurity, loneliness. Other people often mirror the parts of ourselves we do not want to see. That is why relationships can become powerful opportunities for awareness. Observe your thoughts. This is one of the most important observations. Most people never truly watch their thoughts. They simply believe them. But if you sit silently, you may notice how repetitive, fearful, self-critical, distracted, negative, or imaginary they are. Many people spend hours arguing internally with situations that are not even happening. This continuous unconscious thinking is exhausting. But the moment real observation begins, something important happens. You realize there are thoughts, and there is also an awareness watching thoughts. This is a major shift. You are no longer completely trapped inside every mental movement. A little space appears, a little silence, a little clarity. This beginning matters more than any dramatic spiritual experience. And when these mental movements are observed clearly instead of fed continuously, something slowly changes. The mind begins settling naturally, not because you forced silence, but because awareness interrupts unconscious momentum. Now continue sitting quietly. If emotions appear, let them appear. Do not suppress them. Do not perform spirituality. Do not pretend to be calm. True observation is honest. If restlessness is there, observe restlessness. If boredom is there, observe boredom. If peace appears, observe peace too. Everything changes. Everything moves. Thoughts come and go. Emotions come and go. But slowly you begin discovering something deeper. There is an awareness behind all movement. A quiet presence watching everything, not reacting, not fighting, just seeing. And this seeing changes the relationship with the mind. You begin realizing, not every thought deserves belief. Not every emotion deserves obedience. Not every mental story is truth. This understanding brings clarity. Real spirituality is often much quieter than people expect. It is not performance. It is not superiority. It is understanding, the mind that experiences life. That is why spirituality should never become escape, not from work, not from relationships, not from responsibility, not from reality. If the mind is confused, escape will not solve confusion. The same restless mind carries itself everywhere. So the real question is not, how do I escape life? The real question is, what is happening inside the one who experiences life? That question changes everything. There is no need to rush. Modern culture wants instant transformation, instant healing, instant peace. But real understanding grows slowly, gently, honestly, through simple awareness. So here is a simple practice for the next 7 days. Spend 5 minutes daily observing yourself. Not judging, not fixing, not controlling, just observing. Observe your thoughts, observe your emotions, observe your stress, observe your reactions. Observe inner restlessness. If the mind is noisy, observe the noise. If anxious, observe the anxiety. If distracted, observe distraction. Awareness itself begins the transformation, because what is deeply seen cannot remain unconscious forever. If emotions become intense, simply return attention to breathing. You do not need to force silence. Even restlessness can be observed. There is no failure here. And now, for the next 5 minutes, remain silently with yourself. No need to force anything, no need to become spiritual, no need to reach enlightenment. Just observe honestly. Observe thoughts, observe emotions, observe tension, observe breathing, observe impatience, observe silence, observe the movement of the mind exactly as it is. If you become distracted 100 times, gently return 100 times. That gentle return is awareness growing stronger. You may now pause this video for 5 minutes and remain here quietly with yourself. Now slowly bring attention back. Notice how you feel, not better, not worse, just aware, and understand something important. Transformation often begins very quietly, not through dramatic experiences, not through becoming someone new overnight, but through simple awareness repeated consistently. The mind that is deeply observed slowly begins changing naturally, because what becomes conscious can no longer control you in the same unconscious way. So throughout the day, continue practicing this. When anger appears, observe it. When stress appears, observe it. When comparison appears, observe it. When loneliness appears, observe it. Not with judgment, not with shame, just with awareness. A mirror does not hate the reflection, it simply reveals what is there. Awareness works the same way, and slowly, through observation, clarity grows, silence grows, freedom grows, not by escaping life, but by finally understanding the mind that experiences life. In future videos, we will explore more deeply why the mind becomes restless, why attention gets hijacked so easily, why emotions control behavior, why silence feels uncomfortable, and how different forms of meditation affect different kinds of minds. But first, always awareness first. A person who cannot observe the mind clearly cannot truly understand it. And the moment understanding begins, transformation has already started quietly in the background. Thank you for being here. And if this touched something inside you, continue this practice gently, honestly, patiently.
I will see you in the next video. Just a quick note, I am not a meditation teacher or a mental health professional. I am simply a fellow practitioner who is also learning and practicing meditation. I am sharing what helps me personally. This is not medical or psychological advice. If you are dealing with serious emotional or mental health difficulties, please reach out to a qualified doctor or mental health professional.